morning everyone. So that you all know that now we are discussing your chemistry part, the third chapter of your science, that is synthetic fibers and plastics. So in the last class what we have discussed about this synthetic fibers and plastics, you all know that we have discussing about the synthetic fibers. They are nothing but the artificial fibers, means the man-made fibers. So when we say the man-made fibers, so there are some chemicals we are using. So those chemical substances, what we call those chemical substances as monomers. And many small monomer units combine together to form a polymer. And from that polymer we make the fabrics or the fibers of the artificial fibers like rayon, nylon, polyester, like different types of fibers we make. And that process what we call that process as polymerization, right? And see, already in our 2 sessions we have learned that about the synthetic fibers such as rayon as well as nylon. So what we have learned in that? We learned that the rayon, it was prepared by the wood pulp as well as the chemicals. Okay. So that since we have used the wood pulp to prepare the rayon, we call it as the semi-synthetic completely. It is not completely synthetic. Since we use some natural wood pulp which we get from the plant, then we can call it as the semi-synthetic. And then after that, the rayon, what was the purpose of preparing rayon? So we need the silk or the materials which resembles the properties of the silk, because silk is not affordable. Affordable means it should be reached to everyone. The cost should be means everyone should be able to buy. But since the cost of natural silk is very high or it is more costlier one, so everyone cannot be able to purchase the silk fabrics. So to overcome that problem, what we have done? We prepared the artificial silk, that is nothing but the rayon. So which one? Affordable for everyone. It is having more advantages over the natural silk. It is also the properties are very similar to that of the silk only, the natural silk. It is also smooth, it is also shiny, it is also soft, and it can be dyed into various colors whatever we want. Yes, and if we compare to that of the natural silk, the rayon is more durable. Since we made it by the chemicals, by using the chemicals, it is what somehow it is more durable, because it is not affected by the moths and all. Any insects cannot be attacked this, and it is less reactive with some ordinary chemicals and all. So that this is what highly durable than that of the natural silk. Because what happened, the natural fibers, when we say those natural fibers usually we obtain from the plants and animals, so that there is a chance to rotting the fabrics, the cotton fabrics if we take, or any other silk or wool fabrics if we take, after some years they will get rot. But these artificial fibers, since they are made by using some of the chemical substances called monomers, so they are highly durable, they are long lasting. Okay, so we can use it for many years, so that they are long lasting. Okay, so this is what the advantages of the artificial fibers over the natural fibers, so that there is a more demand for these artificial fibers. And even the production of natural fibers are limited, because how much animals are there, how much the plants are there, only that quantity we can get the fibers. But the artificial or synthetic fibers, we can produce them according to the demand. So if the demand for these fibers are more, then we can produce, because it is there in our hand. So how much it is required, that much we can produce. But natural fibers are not like that. There the limited products will be available, but here it is unlimited. How much it requires, that much we can prepare by our own. Right? So, what we have learned in the last two sessions about the rayon as well as nylon. So, rayon can be prepared by the monomers. What monomers are? The chemical substances. So, which chemical substance we use to prepare the rayon? Yes, they are the cellulose. Cellulose are the chemical substances which we use to prepare the rayon. And we have discussed about the nylon and which chemical substance or which kind of monomers are used to prepare the nylon. Yes, they are polyamides. Yes, these are what? The polyamides which are used to prepare the nylon. These are what? These two are the chemical substances. Okay, chemical substances. For these chemical substances, what we call? We call them as monomers. And these are the repeating units. For example, if cellulose, if rayon is made by the cellulose, so many number of these cellulose monomers, yes, these many number of cellular monomers combine together to form the polymer of this rayon. And then we form the rayon fabric by using these monomers of the cellulose. Likewise, nylon is made with polyamides. Okay, with the chemical substances, what we call. And one more thing I wanted to tell you that whatever the chemical substances we are using here to prepare these artificial or synthetic fibers. For example, here in preparing the nylon, what we use here? We use coal, water and air. We use these chemical substances, and these are what we can call as the petrochemicals. These are the what? Petrochemicals. These are all petroleum products. So that these raw materials what we are using to prepare the nylon or any for if we take rayon, the raw materials which we take to prepare the rayon. So these are called commonly, these are called as petrochemicals. So by using this we prepare the artificial or synthetic fibers. So about this and these properties of these nylon and rayon and the uses, that all we have discussed. And in our today's class we are going to discuss the one more kind of synthetic fiber, that is polyester. Okay. Now we can discuss polyester, how to prepare the polyester and what are the uses, what are the properties and what are the disadvantages. So anything it may be, so that is having some disadvantages. So that all we can discuss. So what we are going to discuss now? Polyester. Okay, fine. So see, polyester. Here if I divide this term polyester, what we get? In polyester there are two terms. If I divide these two terms, what we will get? One word is poly in this polyester. If I divide this, we will get poly. Poly means, I said many times, it is many. Poly means many. And ester means, these are the chemical substances, or we can say here as the functional group. Functional group. These esters are the functional group which we use to prepare the polyester fibers. Then how can we prepare this? See, these polyesters, actually whatever the functional group, this term is little bit new for you. So functional group, about this you will learn in the higher section in detail, but still I will explain you. These functional groups are added to any kind of fibers. Like see, when we add, usually these esters are having the fruity smells. It smells like the fruits. Even we know the natural fruits and all, they are having somewhat the smell is it. They are having some odor. And when we buy some of the artificial drinks and all, they are having some mango flavor, we can say the strawberry flavor. Likewise when we say, so some of the drinks they are having artificial flavors. So those artificial flavors are by adding this ester group. These esters, different esters are having different types of smell. So that when we add this as a functional group in preparing the polyester, so they give some fruity smell to that fiber. So this is the reason why we add this functional group. And see how can we prepare this? See what I said, the polyester, they are formed by many number of ester group. When for the petrochemicals, okay, the petrochemicals are what? They are the single, they made with, when we prepare the polyester, they are made with the different number of monomers. So those monomers again attached with these small units of esters. So they will join the monomers and they form the long chain of the polymer. So how they form? Just we'll see here. Think that this is the monomer unit. Okay, these are the chemical substances by which the polymer is being prepared. Okay, these are what? The small units. Just think. When I said in the first class only I said, so these polymers are made by joining the repeated units of monomers. Okay, so for example, when we are going to make a necklace. So how can we make the necklace? We join the number of beads together. Yes. So when we join the number of beads together, so that what we will prepare? We will form a very nice, beautiful necklace. Yes, no? So that we wear to our neck. And see, when some additional beads, if I join with this, some additional beads. Like somewhat now it is green in color and some additional beads I will give to this. Okay, I will join some additional beads with this. Is it looks more beautiful now? Yes, no? Girls like more this one. Yes, no? So if I join some additional beads to this, what happened here? It looks somewhat beautiful. Yes, sir? Yes. So likewise, these monomer units, when they are joined by some ester units, so every monomer it is joined with some smaller units called esters. Okay, so these esters provide a fruity smell to the polymer. And these esters can combine the monomers. These are all what? These are all monomer units like these beads. And these are the ester units. Okay, these are ester units are the functional group which join the monomers to form the long chain of polymer. Okay, like these beads. Yes. So here it will form the bonds in between these monomer units. And they form the long chain of monomer, and this what we call together, we call it as the polymer. And this all together it form what? Polyester. Am I clear with this? Okay, fine. So likewise what we prepare the polyester, and this is one of the polyester is one of the synthetic fiber and which is very stronger than that of the nylon. So why I am saying this? Always we people how our thoughts are when we are given or provided with some kinds of materials, we because the natural silk was not affordable for everyone. So that we need the material which is having the similar properties that is resembles the natural what? Silk. So that what we prepared the rayon. Yes, no? So better quality we want, and that is affordable. That should be reached to everyone. So that we prepared the rayon. And then after time being what we require, we want some more, the betterment in the qualities. Then stronger than that, more elastic than that, more durable than that. Then what we prepared? We prepared the nylon. And now we want more stronger than that of nylon, because we are not satisfied with anything. So that again we want more better quality substances or the materials, so that to make the nylon betterment, what the nylon are not having, some features which the nylon do not have. So those will be there in where? In the polyester. So that it is more stronger than that of the nylon. Okay, so that likewise we prepare this. And most common type of this polyester is the terylene. Terylene is the most common type of the polyester. Okay, and these are used, and some of the properties of this polyester are, this is also having the same properties similar to that of the nylon itself. So I will give you some of the properties of the polyester here. Most of the properties, they are similar to that of the nylon. Okay. Properties. So what are the properties of nylon? So first thing here, see, it is also highly strong. Means it is also having the high strength. Strength wise it is good like nylon, and it is more stronger than that of the nylon even. And it is also elastic and long lasting. Long lasting means what? It is highly durable. Yes, long lasting means what? We can use these nylon fabrics for longer time. So that even we can use it rough and tough. No, nothing will happen to this nylon, this polyester fibers. And the second property is this. Here the nylon is also wrinkle resistance. Wrinkle resistant. Okay. So wrinkle resistant I said. So whenever how much days we can use. So one of the most important thing I will tell you when I come to this point of wrinkle resistant. These, when the Britain countries, when they started thinking to make this polyester fiber, it was around the year of 1941. Okay, in the year of 1941. So what happened that time? They prepared the polyester fiber and they made the suit from that. One suit they prepared, and one person wear this suit for 68 days. 68 days. Even though wearing this suit for 68 days, which is made by the polyester, it was not wrinkled at all. So think how much it is wrinkle resistant. Even though after wearing 68 days continuously, it was wrinkle free. It was not folded at all. So that it doesn't require iron. Ironing the clothes is not required for the polyester. So if we make it, if we soak it, and if we make it, if we press it more, then sometimes it may happen. But again, if we spread it properly, again it will be wrinkle free only. So that this is what one of the great thing about this. It is not required any kind of ironing and all. So that this is wrinkle resistant. And the third property is it does not absorb the water. Does not absorb the water. It will not at all absorb the water. So that it is very easy to wash and dry. Even though it is not require the sunlight also. Even in the air only we can dry it. Yes. So that is what it does not absorb the water. And do you see the 90s movies and all? The 90s what we can call the movies. So people usually they wear the clothes which looks like the plastic. They are also made with this polyester only. That was very that was become trend in those days in the 90s. If you watch the movies and all, you will come to know that. So it was the trend in those days, and they are made with the polyester fibers. Okay, and then what we can say, this is also highly abrasion. I said what you mean by abrasion means even though we can use it rough and tough, then also it is not what we can say wear and tear resistant we can say. So even though we use it rough and tough, it will not tear it early or easily. And the fifth property what we can say, it will not rot. I said before only. So the polyester fibers will not get rot. See why? Because whenever if we take the natural fibers, they may rot because they are obtained from the plants and animals. So that they may get rot. The fabrics made with those natural fibers. But since these are made with chemicals, they will not rot. And even they are not attacked by the moths. They do not attack by moths, or we can say insects, and also they are not react very easily with some ordinary chemicals, and this is highly strong. So these are what some properties of the polyester. Understood? So now we can discuss about some of the uses of these polyester fibers. Is it clear? After uses we can discuss some of the disadvantages of these polyester fibers. So see here some of the uses. Okay, properties we have learned. Now we can go for the uses. Okay. So what are the uses? Here these polyester fibers we use to make the dress materials and saris and okay, dress materials and saris. See what I said in the properties of this polyester. Polyesters are, they do not absorb the water. So when they do not absorb the water, it is very difficult to wear the fabrics made with polyester during the summers. Because during the summers, which kind of cloths we prefer? We always prefer for the cloths which can absorb the sweat. Because during the summers there is more hot will be there and we sweat oftenly. So cloths should be absorb the water. So that we prefer for the cotton. But these polyester clothes, they do not absorb water at all. So to overcome this problem, what we made? So nowadays purely polyester clothes we are not using. Instead of that, instead of using pure polyester clothes, we use the blended one, the blended items of the polyester. So blended means what? We blend the polyester with the some other natural fibers. For example, I can tell you the polycot or polywool or terrycot, terrywool. in polycot what happened? Polyester is blended with cotton. Polyester is blended with cotton, and then for that, since it is the blend or the mixture of polyester and cotton, so the name what we had given here, polycot. And these polycots are used for the shirts, trousers, okay, shirts, trousers, the pants, formal pants and all, we use these polycots. And likewise the polywool, the same kind. Polywool means what? Polyester plus wool. The polyester is blended with the wool, and then we can make the polywool. Both together, what we call polywool. And this is used to make the suits and all. So likewise here if we come terracotta, it is the mixture of terylene plus cotton. And likewise this terry wool is the mixture of terylene plus wool. So likewise what we are using nowadays, we are using the blended materials of this polyester because of the disadvantage of the polyester, that is it does not absorb the water. Okay. And then next, what are the advantage? What is the uses? The second one is it is used for making sails of sailboats. Sails of sailboats. So you might have know that sailboats. So these are the boats. So these sailboats are having the sails like this. Yes, some cloth is tied here with this. Because see, these sailboats, they are moving in the sea. So when they move somewhat the larger distances inside the in the sea. So what happens there? The wind speed will be more here. Because these sailboats, they are moving by the movement of this wind only, with the help of this wind. So when the wind blows more, that time it affects these sailboats. So to protect them from these high speed winds, what happens? They tie the sails here. So these sails, the sail fabrics, what here they are attached. So they are made with this polyester. So why they use the polyester? Why can't they use the cotton fabrics and all? If we compare the strength of the cotton fibers as well as these polyesters, they are the stronger one, so that they will use this. So whenever the wind blows with a high speed, so these will be protected, these sail will protect the boats. So likewise they will protect. And this is used for the water hoses for firefighting. Water hoses for firefighting. We know that if it catches the fires and all, firefighting operations. So the people from the fire brigade, they came with the large pipes, and those pipes, in that pipe what happened? To extinguish the fire, they use the water with high speed. So with high force the water will be run in that pipes. So those pipes should be having the very much strength. So that strength will be not, we will not get from the ordinary plastic pipes and all. So they, for water hoses for firefighting operations, the pipes what they are using, so they are made with this polyester because of their strength. Okay. And the conveyor belts, these are used in conveyor belts. Do you know what are the conveyor belts? These conveyor belts usually it is used to transport the goods in some industries and all. So some likewise it will be continuously moving likewise. Okay, and goods will be kept over here on the conveyor belts. So these goods will be transported likewise. So these are some of the in home we are having many kinds of bottles. The water bottles and all, they are made with the PET, that is polyethylene terephthalate, and some jars also made by the PET. And also we buy some of the materials like spices, rice and all, they are having the containers, and those are also made with this PET only. And some of the cold drinks bottles like fizz bottles, Coca-Cola and all, what we brought, so they are all made with this PET. And one important property of this PET is it is highly transparent. So, and also it is impact resistance, because impact resistance means it will not break. So since it is highly transparent, it is used instead of glass. Glass why we use? Always we use for the transparent purpose we use. So instead of glass, what we use here? PET. Because it is also transparent, and even we can make it into colors also. We can dye it. But it is naturally, the PET is what? It is transparent. So since it is transparent, we can use it, we can replace the glasses by the glass objects by this PET. This is one thing about this PET. And it is not breakable, so that even some of the other glass materials, for example glasses or any utensils, so there also we can replace the glass by this transparent, the PET. Okay. So this is about the PET. And so totally this is all about what? The polyesters. So what we have learned about the polyester, how to prepare the polyester and their properties and their uses, and about the PET. So for this class this much only, and in the next class we can discuss about the one more synthetic fiber, that is acrylic, as well as some overall properties of the synthetic fibers and all we can discuss in our next classes. Is that clear? Okay. I hope you have understood. Even though if you are having any kind of doubts regarding this, you can contact me and clarify your doubts.